Chapter 21. The Illusionary Forest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Grandpa, Schwer went off training on her own. As soon as he returned home, Lang Rohan hurried to his grandfather's study upon hearing that Schwer had left home to train. Yes. Lang Qingtian answered. Grandpa, Schwer has never left home since she was a child. How could you let her go alone? Lang Rohan said worriedly. Rohan, Schwer has already grown up. Since she wants to go, shouldn't I support her as her grandfather? Lang Qingtian said helplessly. No wonder Schwer didn't want Rohan to know. If he knew, he would have definitely followed. But Rohan, Schwer can take care of herself, Lang Qingtian said firmly. To be honest, if he didn't know that she had that magical bracelet where she could seek refuge when in danger, he would also be quite worried. Schwer, how can you be so cruel? I love you so much, but you didn't even tell me before you left. Lang Rohan complained in his head. Anyways, it's good that you're back, Rohan. I will be going into seclusion a few days later. Oh, right, Schwer left this for you. Lang Qingtian took out the emerald green fruit and gave it to Rohan. What rich spiritual energy. Where did Schwer get this? Why didn't she eat it herself? Lang Rohan was both surprised and touched as he received the fruit. Schwer's master gave it to her, and she still has more. She specially left one for you, Lang Qingtian explained. Schwer's master. When did she have a master? Lang Rohan was puzzled. She acknowledged a master just before leaving. Her master is very powerful, or else I wouldn't have dared to let her go out alone. So you don't have to worry about her. Lang Qingtian knew that his grandson loved Schwer even more than him, so he said this to reassure his grandson since he didn't want him to worry and have it affect his cultivation. Rohan, tell the academy that you're going to join me in seclusion. Before Schwer left, she said that she hopes to see you becoming a spiritual sovereign when she returns, Lang Qingtian suggested. His grandson was already at peak spiritual monarch. With the fruit, it would be a piece of cake for him to break through to spiritual sovereign. All right. Since this is what Schwer wants, how can I let her down? Lang Ruoxue had been flying for nearly half a month on the falcon, and she was finally nearing the illusionary forest. In the past half-month, she had been flying during the day and resting at inns during the night. Although she always booked rooms, she rested and cultivated in the heaven and earth bracelet. 3 days ago, she found an uninhabited valley to advance. After the baptism of heaven and earth laws, she was able to reach intermediate spiritual sovereign and unlock the first seal of the heaven and earth bracelet. The heaven and earth bracelet gained the ability to change into any shape at will, and the small flame lion advanced to level 9 spirit beast. Even the falcon she fed with pills every day had promoted to intermediate spirit beast. But baby still had no changes and was as weak as before. Finally here. Lang Ruoxue was excited when she saw the giant trees that shielded the forest floor from the sun and the green that stretched infinitely into the horizon. As soon as she entered Willow City, she saw the immense forest. Although Willow City was only a medium-sized city in the Eastern Lagoon Empire, because of the illusionary forest, it was as bustling and prosperous as any major city of the empire. But the prosperous city was not that attractive to her at this moment. She most wanted to enter the long-awaited illusionary forest currently. Now that she was here, how could she be willing to wait? After all, she was not here to sightsee. Lang Ruoxue came to the entrance of the forest. The sun had set, so no one was around the area. To be precise, no one would choose to enter the forest at night because the illusionary forest would become even more perilous. But for Lang Ruoxue, it made no difference. She had the heaven and earth bracelet, so she could get out of any dangerous situations. It wasn't free to enter the illusionary forest, there was an entrance fee of 500 gold coins per person. Lang Ruoxue paid the money and was about to enter when the guard suddenly stopped her. Miss, please wait. Leng Ruoxue frowned. What does he want? Why isn't he letting me in after I've paid? Miss, the illusionary forest is extremely dangerous at night. You should come back during the day, the young guard kindly reminded her. He didn't want such a beautiful young lady to be eaten by the spirit beasts in the forest. It's okay. I'm not afraid. Leng Ruoxue thanked the guard and headed in. Although she knew that the illusionary forest was enormous, only when she was here, walking among the trees, could she truly feel the boundlessness. She spent almost a month in the forest, but it wasn't very fruitful. She had only seen a few high-level spirit beasts. Moreover, it seemed as though she was still in the periphery of the forest. During this time, she encountered a small mercenary team of 5, from whom she inquired some information. At first, she was still surprised because she had read that there were many mercenary groups in the forest. But after almost a month, she had only met this team. They told her that it wasn't strange for her not to come across anyone in the forest because it was simply too big. Many weaker mercenary groups did not dare to proceed too deep into the forest and wouldn't spend the night here. Afterward, Leng Ruoxue declined their invitation to join their group and parted ways with them. Leng Ruoxue continued farther into the forest. She collected all the herbs she came across along the way, and she also hunted many delicious spirit beasts for food. She had already filled up several storage rings. Alas, she had too many gluttonous little spirit beasts to feed. And, well, she also liked to eat. Although some beasts were really cute, she clearly distinguished between food and pets. There seems to be fighting. Her journey so far had been rather boring. She had only encountered that small mercenary team, and all the spirit beasts she encountered were weak and didn't take much effort to deal with. Now, with the sudden sounds of intense fighting, her curiosity was piqued. Thus, she walked toward the source of the commotion. Chapter 22. Purple-eyed Snow Fox. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Those are, Purple-eyed Snow Fox and Earth Lizard. Leng Ruoxue was slightly surprised. Purple-eyed Snow Foxes, the king of foxes, were born elegant and noble. They were formidable spirit beasts that were best at charming and used ice-element attacks. Earth lizards slightly resembled a lizard. They were said to have the blood of dragons and were a side branch of the dragon race. Earth lizards were of earth-attribute spirit beasts and were best at defense. Although she didn't know why the purple-eyed Snow Fox and Earth Lizard were fighting, she could sense that they were higher level than her, so she kept her distance to avoid being caught in the crossfire. Spirit beasts could be divided into elementary, intermediate, advanced, holy, and divine beasts. Levels 1 to 3 were elementary, 4 to 6 were intermediate, and 7 to 9 were advanced. Holy beasts and divine beasts each had 9 levels as well. Only when spirit beasts reached level 7 could they speak, and only divine beasts could transform into human form. Since Leng Ruoxue entered the bracelet to cultivate every night, she had already reached advanced spiritual sovereign with time acceleration. However, she still felt that these 2 spirit beasts were stronger than her. This meant that they were at least level 7 holy beasts. Levels 1 to 5 holy beasts were equivalent to human spiritual sovereigns, and level 7 and above holy beasts were equivalent to human spiritual supremacies. It was a rare opportunity to see a battle between 2 spiritual supremacy-level spirit beasts, so how should she let this chance slip away? With this thought, Leng Ruoxue hurriedly hid behind bushes to spectate the fight. Although the opportunity was rare, her safety was still more important. Big sister, those 2 are level 9 holy beasts, Qing Ju said from the Heaven and Earth bracelet. Level 9. Who do you think will win? Leng Ruoxue communicated telepathically with Qing Ju. Although most of his abilities were sealed, he had traversed through many cosmic spaces with his master, so he was considerably experienced and knowledgeable. These 2 beasts aren't weak, and each has its own strengths. It's hard to tell, but judging by the current situation, the fox is likely to win, Qin Ju analyzed. Damn fox, if I can't have it, you can't either. Seeing that it was at a disadvantage, the earth lizard's milky little eyes flashed with viciousness. Stinky reptile, you can't even defeat me, the purple-dot-eyed snow fox said elegantly. Although it looked disheveled now, its nobleness remained unaffected. Big sister, that earth lizard is going to blow itself up. Come in quickly. Qin Ju sensed the spiritual energy in the forest rushing toward the earth lizard and hurriedly reminded Leng Ruoxue to take refuge in the bracelet. A level 9 holy beast self-exploding couldn't be taken lightly. Just as Leng Ruoxue was about to enter the bracelet, she saw the purple-dot-eyed snow fox unleashing a spiritual skill, so she waited to see what it would do to prevent the earth lizard from exploding. Damn it! You lunatic! The purple-dot-eyed snow fox could tell what the earth lizard was up to, so it unleashed its most powerful ice-element spiritual skill and froze the huge earth lizard into a block of ice. Then it collapsed onto the ground due to exhausting its spiritual power. Human, come out, the purple-dot-eyed snow fox uttered weakly. In fact, it had long known that there was a human nearby, but the human was too weak for it to take seriously. But now that both it and the stinky reptile were heavily injured, the puny human would be able to take advantage of them. Since the snow fox was aware of her presence, Leng Ruoxue stopped hiding and walked out from behind the bushes without hesitation. Upon seeing the little human, the purple-eyed snow fox was stunned. It's actually a woman, and she looks decent too. The best that-looking human I've seen. I would rather die than acknowledge a weak human as my master. Despite being in a tattered state, the purple-dot-eyed snow fox was still arrogant. The proud spirit beast would never acknowledge a weak human as its master, even if she looked decent. Weak? Is it referring to me? Leng Ruoxue was a bit depressed. Although her cultivation wasn't high, she wasn't weak either. She wasn't even hiding her strength currently. But if she knew that the beast only saw her as looking decent, she would be even more depressed. Leng Ruoxue examined the snow fox before her. Blood and dirt covered its white fur, and it had injuries all over its body. Although it was riddled with wounds, it still maintained its natural elegance. She had heard that purple-dot-eyed snow foxes were spirit beasts with a noble bloodline. The nobler the bloodline, the scarcer the spirit beast. So this snow fox could definitely be regarded as a legendary spirit beast, rare and precious. Everyone liked beautiful things, and she was no exception. But even though she liked this snow fox a lot, she didn't want to force the fox when it was in a difficult situation. Leng Ruoxue approached the snow fox, who was lying motionless on the ground from overdrawing its spiritual power and severe injuries, and stuffed a pill into its mouth. I don't intend to tame you forcibly. She was also very proud. Then she turned and left. Dumbfounded, the snow fox watched as the weak human departed. What's going on? Isn't this human supposed to capture me while I'm weak and find a beast trainer to tame me? Why is she leaving? This isn't right. The smart snow fox was confused. What? My injuries have healed, and even my spiritual power has restored. Let me try. I'm really okay. That pill. Seeing the human walk farther and farther away, the snow fox hurriedly got up and chased after her. Leng Ruoxue looked at the large 2-meter-tall snow fox blocking her way in bewilderment. Why didn't you capture me and find a beast trainer to tame me? The snow fox asked doubtfully. Its beautiful, amethyst-like watery eyes reflected a glimpse of shyness. Do you think that all humans will capitalize on your injuries to capture you, then find a beast trainer to tame and contract you? Leng Ruoxue threw a question back instead. Yes. The snow fox nodded its head earnestly. Aren't humans like that? Not every human likes to take advantage of others' difficulties, Leng Ruoxue said. In her previous life, she had always seen animals as man's best friend, or at least more trustworthy than some humans. Moreover, her grandfather once told her that humans and spirit beasts should be best friends, and both her grandfather and big brother treated their spirit beasts as family members. The Ling family would never treat their spirit beasts as mere tools. Chapter 23. Molested. 1. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The snow fox lowered his large head in deep thought, then raised his head and looked at Leng Ruoxue. Although I am a spirit beast, I know to be grateful. You saved me, so I am willing to acknowledge you as my master, the snow fox said. As a proud high-level spirit beast, he would rather die than be tamed if he was forced by a human into acknowledging them as his master. However, this human had not forced him, and he actually owed her a favor now. The one thing that purple-eyed snow foxes hated the most was to owe favors. After speaking, he initiated the contract directly, and a golden contract array appeared under the feet of the human and the beast. When the array disappeared, the contract was formally established. Leng Ruoxue looked at the big fox in front of her speechlessly. She didn't say that she wanted him to repay the favor. Why did he force himself upon her as well? But what contract was that just now? Why is it another type of contract I don't know? Who said that there were only equal contracts and master-slave contracts? Was it all a lie? Leng Ruoxue complained. Master, this is a soul contract. It is only available to spirit beasts with inherited memories. But few spirit beasts will actively acknowledge humans as their masters, so humans aren't aware of the existence of this contract, the snow fox explained, knowing what was on his master's mind. Only if the spirit beast initiated a contract would this contract for spirit beasts with inherited memories be established, which was why humans did not know about it. Furthermore, spirit beasts that actively acknowledged their masters did not need to be tamed, which was also unknown to humans. Soul contract. But it seems different from the one with baby. What are the inherited memories you mentioned? Leng Ruoxue asked thoughtfully. If she remembered correctly, baby said that he knew about the contract from birth. Did that count as inherited memories? They are a way of inheritance that only spirit beasts with ancient, noble bloodlines have. Spirit beasts will only have part of their inherited memories at birth, and they will obtain more and more memories as they advance, the snow fox explained. After listening to the snow fox's explanation, Leng Ruoxue understood. To put it simply, inherited memories were the inheritances of certain spirit beast families. Do you have a name? Leng Ruoxue asked suddenly. I don't have a name, the snow fox answered. Although other spirit beasts he knew called him Purple Eyes, he didn't consider that his name. I'll call you Charm from now on then. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. Thank you, Master, the purple-eyed snow fox replied happily. Charm, don't you think you should wash? Leng Ruoxue reminded him. She heard that purple-eyed snow foxes loved cleanliness, especially their snow-white fur, which they viewed as a treasure. To put it plainly, they were vain foxes in love with their beauty. Charm lowered his head to look at himself and then ran away. After a while, Charm ran back again. Leng Ruoxue looked at the snow-white fox. He was indeed very beautiful, and she could not help but admire his beauty. His snow-white fur gleamed in the sun, looking very soft and smooth. With a body more than 2 meters tall and watery amethyst-like pupils, he looked like a large plush toy. Probably no woman could refuse such a beautiful spirit beast. Master, may we not leave this place for the time being? Charm asked after some thought. Since he acknowledged her as his master, he would have to leave with her, but why? Leng Ruoxue was a little puzzled. She was here to train and would not stay in one place for too long. Moreover, she had not gone far yet because this forest was too big. Master, come with me. Master, put away this big reptile first. Charm pointed at that big block of ice. This is your trophy. How could she snatch something away from her own beast? What is mine belongs to you, master. Master, robbery in the forest is very common. No one is as kind as you, Charm said. Master is really different, not like those hypocritical, greedy humans. Am I kind? She did not think so. She was just more principled and would not rob casually. If she wanted to rob, she would rob from those not pleasing to the eye, such as the seventh prince. After storing the earth lizard in a storage ring, Lang Ruoxue followed Charm to a cave, which seemed to be his home. Are these green spirit fruits? Lang Ruoxue looked at the small tree half a meter tall in front of her. On the tree, there were 5 green fruits, each the size of a baby's fist and obviously still not ripe. Yes, they are almost ripe. I've been guarding the tree for a long time. That big reptile tried to steal it from me, which was what started the fight, Charm explained. Move it to my space. Lang Ruoxue said. Green spirit fruits were also a heavenly material and earthly treasure, just not as good as those in her heaven and earth bracelet. Space. Charm looked at his master with bewilderment. Green spirit fruits were a great thing, useful to both humans and spirit beasts. Humans could increase their spiritual energy and spiritual beasts could advance if they ate them. However, it seemed as though his master was not very interested in them. Heavens! What is this place? Charm was dumbfounded as he looked at the large medicinal field in front of him. Even more dumbfounding was that he didn't recognize most of them. However, spirit beasts were very sensitive to such treasures, so he was sure that they were definitely good things, even better than the green spirit fruits he regarded as a treasure. No wonder Master wasn't too interested in the green spirit fruits. Master, this is the space I told you about. Pretty good, isn't it? It's more than good. Charm did not know what to say. He could only say that his master was really abnormal. Big sister, plant that little tree here. Qing Ju pointed to an empty field. Another 2 fields had appeared after unlocking a seal. Moreover, Qing Ju arranged and managed everything planted. Okay. Has baby woken up? Baby became very sleepy after entering the forest, so Lang Ruoxue left him in the purple bamboo house. Not yet. Master, he. Charm looked at the toddler and then at his master, his fluffy face full of question marks. He is Qing Ju, the artifact spirit of the heaven and earth bracelet. Tell him if you want to enter or exit this place from now on, Lang Ruoxue explained. When the green spirit fruits are ripe, I'll concoct them into pills for you to consume, Lang Ruoxue added. Concocting pills would best preserve the medicinal value of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Chapter 24. Molested, 2, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Master, you're an alchemist. Charm was pleasantly surprised. No wonder Master has such a magical pill. It only took 1 pill for my injuries to be healed and my spiritual power to be restored. It's because she's an alchemist. Hey, shall we stay here for a few days? Lang Ruoxue said after some thought. In the space, the green spirit fruits will ripen in less than 2 days. Furthermore, this is Charm's territory, so it should be safe. Thus, she decided to concoct green spirit pills before leaving. Charm nodded obediently. 3 days later, in the purple bamboo house. Lang Ruoxue looked at the translucent green pills in her palm. Although this was her first time using green spirit fruits to make pills, the result was not bad. She concocted a total of 20 green spirit pills. Green spirit pills were only intermediate pills. Through this period of non-stop practice, she could now concoct advanced pills, so green spirit pills were a piece of cake. After concocting the pills, Lang Ruoxue just emerged from the heaven and earth bracelet when she heard a furious scream. How can you acknowledge a human as your master? Immediately afterward, she was hugged by a furry spirit beast. Before she could identify the spirit beast, she was being kissed on her beautiful cheek. Am I being molested by a spirit beast? Being taken advantage of by a spirit beast was not something Leng Ruoxue could take. She glared at the spirit beast, only to see a purple fox, a very beautiful purple fox. Around 2 meters tall, he had soft and smooth dark purple fur that glistened in the sunlight, and his silver eyes were sleek and shiny. He kept yelling, "So cute! So cute!" Purple foxes, known as the nobles among the fox race, were spirit beasts with the attributes of lightning and water. There were very few purple foxes, and they were highly sought after for their precious fur by the ladies and young misses of noble families. But purple foxes that could have their fur woven into clothing were not the most pure-blooded ones but only purple-furred foxes from side branches. Although they were also called purple foxes, they were inferior. True pure-blooded purple foxes had to have silver eyes. Silver-eyed purple foxes were formidable high-level spirit beasts, and ordinary people did not dare to capture them. The purple fox before her was another high-level holy beast. He was slightly weaker than Charm and probably around level 8. Looking at his beautiful and exquisite dark purple fur, Leng Ruoxue couldn't help but extend her hand and caressed it. His fur feels good. Cool, soft, and smooth. You like me, don't you? Since you touched me, you have to take responsibility for me. The purple fox, who had been caressed, said happily and shyly. The higher level the spirit beast, the more they liked beautiful things, so he liked this human. What? I have to be responsible for him just because I touched him. How does that work? Leng Ruoxue's face was dark. Stop making trouble. Go back to your territory. Charm rescued Leng Ruoxue from the purple fox's arms. This brazen cousin of his truly gave him a headache. Cousin, she's your master. The purple fox looked at Leng Ruoxue with a glow in his eyes. Charm nodded and glared at his cousin to scram and not cause any more trouble. I want her to be my master as well. After speaking, he directly began contracting with her. Before Leng Ruoxue could react, the golden contract array had already disappeared, and the contract had been established. Leng Ruoxue looked speechlessly at the big purple fox. Why don't the spirit beasts I meet ask me for my opinion before contracting with me? Usually, others needed to pay beast trainers a large sum to tame and contract with a spirit beast. But her spirit beast simply came knocking on her door. Was she just too lucky? Why did you want to contract with me? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Because I like you, the purple fox said shyly. What kind of reason is this? You must be joking. However, because Baby had done so before, she was now used to spirit beasts contracting her without asking her opinion and was not that angry. Master, your spirit beast affinity is especially strong, but only pure-blooded high-level spirit beasts can feel it, Charm explained, implying that she might come across more of such spirit beasts in the future. Alright, seems like I'm very attractive to spirit beasts. Leng Ruoxue decided to let the matter rest. She took out a translucent green pill and gave it to Charm. We'll leave after you advance. Thank you, Master. Charm accepted the pill happily. He had been stuck at level 9 Holy Beast for a long time, and he could finally advance today. After looking at Charm running into the cave with the pill, Leng Ruoxue turned to the purple fox. What's your name? I don't have a name, but Master can call me Darling, the purple fox said bashfully. A few drops of sweat rolled down Leng Ruoxue's forehead. What kind of fox is this? How can there be such a narcissistic and thick-skinned fox? Okay, I'll call you Darling. Leng Ruoxue had no choice but to humor this kind purple fox. My beloved master, your darling is back. Leng Ruoxue was grilling meat in the cave when she heard these cringy words coming from the distance. She looked up helplessly and saw the huge purple fox descending from the sky. The purple fox definitely couldn't fly. He had hopped down from a giant eagle. Yesterday, Darling knew that she wanted a flying spirit beast and volunteered to help her find one. As a result, Darling went out early this morning and soon brought back this eagle. Wow, beloved master, you're so good to me. Grilled chicken is my favorite. He excitedly picked up the grilled chicken and began munching on it. Be careful. It's hot. Lang Ruoxue reminded him before turning her eyes to the uncomfortable eagle standing there. What a mighty and majestic black-feathered eagle. The eagle stood towering over her. It was nearly 2 meters tall, and its wingspan probably reached 10 meters. Its golden eyes were fierce and sharp, and its pitch-black feathers were as sharp as blades. Moreover, it was a high-level holy beast and a relatively rare dark attribute spirit beast. Are you willing to acknowledge me as your master? Lang Ruoxue asked the eagle. The black-feathered eagle nodded its giant head. Lil Purple said you're a good master, so I want you as my master. Chapter 25. Untitled. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How can you believe whatever he says? What if he's lying to you? Lang Ruoxue asked. This eagle is so naive. Lil Purple is my best friend. He wouldn't lie to me, the black-feathered eagle said foolishly immediately after, it contracted with her. As the golden contract array disappeared, Lang Ruoxue felt the connection between her soul and the black-feathered eagles. How can there be such an honest spirit beast? This doesn't match its mighty appearance. Lang Ruoxue couldn't help thinking. Do you have a name? Lang Ruoxue asked. Typically, high-level spirit beasts would have names, but it seemed that her spirit beasts hadn't bothered with coming up with a name for themselves. My friends call me Blackie. The black-feathered eagle scratched its head shyly. I'll call you Quill from now on. Lang Ruoxue said after deliberation. Thanks for the name, master, the black-feathered eagle said awkwardly but merrily. He knew that Blackie didn't sound good. 2 days later, Charm finally broke through and was now a divine beast. With the descent of the heaven and earth laws, Lang Ruoxue also felt the benefits her spirit beast's advancement brought her. The spiritual energy in her body was more abundant, but she did not advance to peak spiritual sovereign. Lang Ruoxue's eyes lit up when she saw the stunningly beautiful man emerge from the cave. The man had an air of unmatched magnificence and elegance, looking pure and charming. His purple eyes were bright and deep, and his hair was a beautiful silvery white. It was hard to imagine that a spirit beast would become such a beautiful man after transforming. Such a man would definitely make any woman feel inferior. Master. Charm approached Lang Ruoxue, his deep, purple eyes gazing at her gratefully. Very good, Lang Ruoxue said. Beloved master, your darling will be more beautiful when I advance to holy beast, Darling proclaimed narcissistically. Lang Ruoxue cringed and directly sent him into the heaven and earth bracelet. Woo, woo, woo. Master doesn't love Darling anymore. Charm, is he really related to you? Lang Ruoxue asked doubtfully. How can the two foxes be so different? Charm nodded helplessly. He knew that his cousin was ridiculous and narcissistic. Charm, let's go. Lang Ruoxue said. Charm nodded. He looked at this place where he had lived for hundreds of years one last time sentimentally and then left with Lang Ruoxue. Master, we should be approaching the territory of the Silver Wolf tribe soon. Charm had transformed into a palm-sized snow fox and was lying on Lang Ruoxue's shoulder. Silver wolves preferred to live in large groups and were the smartest, prettiest, fiercest, and mightiest among the wolf race. Moreover, every silver wolf was born an advanced spirit beast. Therefore, no human nor spirit beast dared to provoke the Silver Wolf tribe in the illusionary forest, for their revenge was absolutely relentless. Lang Ruoxue had been in the illusionary forest for a while and was clear that every high-level spirit beast had its own territory. Charm, would the Silver Wolf King think we're here to fight over their territory? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Although Charm had transformed to look like a spirit beast cub to avoid humans from seeing his level, high-level spirit beasts were very sensitive. Master, high-level spirit beasts won't attack spirit beasts that enter their territories unless they've infringed on their authority, Charm explained. Spirit beasts with their own territories were highly intelligent, so they wouldn't behave so barbarically. That's good. Leng Ruoxue had a good impression of spirit beasts like wolves. Beloved master, Darling wants to be by your side. Woo, woo, woo. Let Darling out. Darling's voice sounded in Leng Ruoxue's head. Hearing Darling's voice, Leng Ruoxue felt helpless. She had locked Darling away in the heaven and earth bracelet for quite some time, so the lively purple fox should be bored to death. With this thought, she let Darling out. Darling immediately transformed into a small fox and hopped onto Leng Ruoxue's other shoulder. His fluffy face rubbed against Leng Ruoxue's face affectionately. Beloved master, Darling missed you so much. Leng Ruoxue chose to ignore his cringiness. The one human and two foxes entered the Silver Wolf tribe's territory and found a meadow to be their campsite. The two small adorable foxes swiftly set up the tents that were many times their size and then prepared the rabbit meat Leng Ruoxue took out for dinner. Leng Ruoxue started a fire and began grilling the rabbit meat. The two foxes lay her side and waited quietly. When the rabbit meat was almost ready, Leng Ruoxue took out the seasoning she had prepared and sprinkled a pinch on the meat. Its fragrance quickly wafted far and wide. This rabbit was called a wind rabbit. Although it was a low-level spirit beast, it was nimble and elusive. But its meat was delicious, and her gluttonous spirit beasts had caught many of them. She added some more seasonings while grilling the rabbit meat, bringing it even closer to perfection. There were very few seasonings in this world. However, she found many herbs suitable for making seasonings in the illusionary forest, as well as a few wild peppers and chili. They made her, who loved spicy food, elated. She directly planted them in the fields in the heaven and earth bracelet and had already harvested a lot. Leng Ruoxue distributed the grilled rabbit meat to Charm and Darling and even let Quill and Blaze out. She also fed Qing Ju, who couldn't leave the heaven and earth bracelet, a rabbit thigh. She then took out some fish from the bracelet to grill. Seeing the little beasts around her eating joyfully, Leng Ruoxue felt content. When she looked up, she inadvertently spotted an adorable palm-sized silver wolf standing not far away. Its big eyes glistened as it looked at her curiously and timidly, clearly wanting to come over but not daring to. It must be a silver wolf cub. Leng Ruoxue beckoned to the little guy, and it unexpectedly bolted over. Leng Ruoxue picked a rabbit thigh that was not too spicy and handed it to the little wolf. The little wolf licked her hand in thanks and then started chewing on the rabbit thigh. Chapter 26. You are special. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What a cute little one. Leng Ruoxue carefully observed the little wolf as it ate. The cub was a level 8 spirit beast with good aptitude. The fur all over it was silvery white, and the patch of silver fur on its forehead was particularly obvious. From what she knew, spirit beasts like wolves were extremely protective of their cubs. So she released her divine sense and unsurprisingly found 2 adult silver wolves in the bushes not far away. It seemed that the origin of this little fellow was not simple. After eating, the little wolf left. The next morning, when Leng Ruoxue had just cooked breakfast, the little wolf returned. Looking at the uninvited little wolf, she generously offered it breakfast. She even let it play with Blaze, and the 2 little fellows quickly got along. She was happy that Blaze finally had a playmate. After all, Blaze was still a child, and Baby, the only other child around her, refused to play with him. Just like this, the little wolf came back every morning and left at night. But after a few days, the little wolf's parents came. Just after Leng Ruoxue harvested some nearby herbs and returned to the temporary camp, she saw a large silver wolf waiting for her. She looked at the silver wolf. She had already been here for a few days and seen many silver wolves, but this was the largest and mightiest one so far. This silver wolf was a level 6 holy beast, and its silver eyes were as keen as daggers. It had a coat of luxurious fur and also a patch of silver on its forehead that was exactly the same as the little wolf's. In addition to being the little wolf's parent, it was probably the Silver Wolf King here. While Leng Ruoxue was looking at the Silver Wolf King, the Silver Wolf King was also looking at her. This human. I heard from many subordinates that my son looks for her every day. Even I don't see my son as much as this human. Thinking of this, the Silver Wolf King felt a tinge of jealousy. In fact, from the moment Leng Ruoxue set foot on his territory, he already knew. However, all she did was pull out weeds every day or practice spiritual skills with his subordinates. She even took good care of his son. Besides, she didn't do anything to harm the Silver Wolves tribe, so he didn't mind her. But as more and more of his subordinates praised her, he couldn't help but become a little curious. It had to be known that spirit beasts, especially high-level ones, loathed humans. In their eyes, humans were greedy, hypocritical, and shameless. Moreover, silver wolves were very proud spirit beasts. For this human to gain the approval of so many of his subordinates, it was a testament of this human's uniqueness. It seemed that she was different from other humans. I am Concord, the king here, the Silver Wolf King introduced himself. Leng Ruoxue. Leng Ruoxue looked at the Silver Wolf King doubtfully, not knowing why he looked for her. She knew that high-level spirit beasts were as intelligent as humans. Furthermore, she heard from Charm that except for some naturally brutal and bloodthirsty spirit beasts, the vast majority of high-level spirit beasts would not actively attack humans unless provoked, despite not liking humans. Although Charm was around, she was unwilling to annoy this tribe of spirit beasts who liked to hold deep grudges, not to mention that she had a good impression of silver wolves. I shouldn't have provoked them, right? I merely found some silver wolves to practice occasionally. And I even grilled meat for them to repay them. You are special. After speaking, the Silver Wolf King turned around and left. Seeing the Silver Wolf King leave, Leng Ruoxue was flabbergasted. Did he come here just to say, "You are special," to me? Master, the Silver Wolf King specially came to see you, whispered the transformed Charm, who was lying on her shoulder. Charm, what should we have for dinner? Leng Ruoxue asked. She didn't want to intertwine over the matter. Besides, the Silver Wolf King probably meant no harm. I want to eat grilled fish, Charm said shyly. The fish from the space was really too delicious. Okay, let's grill fish. Leng Ruoxue also liked fish. From the Heaven and Earth bracelet, she took out a few large fishes that each weighed 5 kilograms. Charm took the initiative to clean them, and Leng Ruoxue released Darling to help. After the preparations were finished, guests came. Leng Ruoxue looked at the little wolf who came every day. This time, he was not alone. By his side were 2 silvery white wolves. One of them was the Silver Wolf King she had just met, and the other was slightly smaller than the Silver Wolf King and was a level 3 holy beast. If she was not mistaken, it should be the queen of the Silver Wolf tribe, the little wolf's mother. It seemed that the family of 3 were here for a meal. Leng Ruoxue helplessly took out a few rabbits from the Heaven and Earth bracelet, the smallest of which weighed about 5 kilograms. This should be enough. Fortunately, I taught Charm how to grill meat. Otherwise, I would be seriously exhausted. The family of 3 had a very satisfying meal. And from then on, they frequently came for meals. Furthermore, Leng Ruoxue gained a better sparring partner. Leng Ruoxue looked at the sword with a thin and sharp blade in her hand. It was a spirit artifact that she had refined herself. Although she was not too satisfied, she could make do with it for now. After all, although spirit artifact-grade weapons were not the best on the Ling Feng continent, they were not bad. Holding the sword, Leng Ruoxue stood opposite the Silver Wolf King and was ready to begin sparring. Concord, you're not allowed to go easy on me, or else I won't give you any food, Leng Ruoxue reminded. She didn't dare to let her own beasts be her training partners, lest they became hurt. Even if she did, she wouldn't go all out. Thus, she could only find the lower-level silver wolves. But they were not on par with her individually, and the training effect wasn't much, so she would request to fight with a few dozen at once. The Silver Wolf King was different, as he was a level 6 holy beast, which was equivalent to peak spiritual sovereign. In fact, he was only slightly stronger than her, so he was definitely the best sparring partner. Furthermore, he was very experienced in combat, which allowed her to learn a lot. Of course I won't, the Silver Wolf King said seriously. Then let's begin. Leng Ruoxue initiated attacking. Her sword flashed as she charged forward. Her sword technique was called Meteor Sword Technique, a technique that was part of the heaven-defying art. This sword technique was known for the sword beams that would shoot out from all directions like shooting stars, making it difficult to defend against. Whether it was single or group combat, the strike to the enemy would be fatal. And if she infused her spiritual power into the sword, it would absolutely be a finishing blow. Chapter 27. My life is yours from now on. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Silver Wolf was of the wind attribute, extremely fast and rich in combat experience. They were at a stalemate after dozens of rounds of fighting, and no one could overpower the other. After a while, the beast and human stopped their showdown. Tai. Leng Ruoxue said. You won, the Silver Wolf King said. The woman and beast spoke almost simultaneously. But the Silver Wolf King knew that he had actually lost because Leng Ruoxue had not infused spiritual power into her sword moves. If she had infused spiritual power, he would have been seriously injured even if he did not die. Wow, beloved master, you are great. The transformed darling rushed into Leng Ruoxue's arms and kissed the beautiful face of his favorite master, taking advantage of her in the meantime. Leng Ruoxue glanced at Darling and touched his head. She was now a bit accustomed to Darling taking advantage of her. Master, there are sounds of fighting in front. Charm reminded her. Where? Leng Ruoxue had been staying in the Silver Wolf tribe's territory for quite some time. But she had gathered almost all the herbs she could in the Silver Wolf tribe's territory, so she planned to go farther today. It doesn't sound too far away. Shall we take a look? Charm asked. Let's go. Leng Ruoxue said. She could learn from watching others' battles sometimes. What a huge snake. Before getting close, Leng Ruoxue saw a dull yellow snake about 100 meters long and 10 meters thick. Is this an earth python? The earth python was an earth attribute spirit beast that was good at defense and had very tough skin, but its meat was very tender. It was a rare delicacy. This earth python was a level 3 holy beast, and its strength was around that of an intermediate spiritual sovereign. Its thick skin coupled with its defenses would give even a level 9 holy beast a tough time when facing it. Leng Ruoxue slowly approached and saw the situation in front of her clearly. The thick body of the earth python was curling around a man. Although the man was already entangled by the earth python and was almost choking to death, the short sword in his hand still kept piercing the earth python's body. It was obvious that the man was persevering with sheer willpower. If he wasn't strong enough, he would have become the python's food. Not far away from them, there was a black leopard covered in blood and wounds. It was a shadow leopard, a level 9 spirit beast. It had the attributes of darkness and wind, which was very rare, allowing it to be good at stealth and be fast. It was obviously about to perish but still jumped onto the python to attack it with its sharp claws. But such attacks were just like tickles to the python. It was clearly a one-sided battle. Shadow, quickly run away. Leave me, shouted the man, who was about to be suffocated by the earth python. Master, I won't go. I have to save you, that black leopard named Shadow said stubbornly. Leng Ruoxue looked at the interaction between them, and she couldn't help feeling a little moved. She might have been born cold-blooded. She was not a saint, nor did she want to be a saint. She wasn't meddlesome and hated trouble, especially in this dangerous forest where there were deaths every day. Since you were taking risks, you had to be prepared for death. Furthermore, the law of nature was the law of the jungle. Therefore, she did not intend to save them at first, but now she wanted to save them. It was undeniable that it was the strong bond between the master and the beast that had moved her. She herself was someone who loved spirit beasts, so for the sake of the strong bond between them, she couldn't watch them die in front of her. Thinking of this, Leng Ruoxue shot powerful fire attribute spiritual power at the earth python like a bolt of lightning, directly hitting its vital spot and killing it with a single blow. After she cultivated the heaven-defying art, the effects of her heavenly spiritual skills had increased several times. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to kill the earth python, which was known for its defense, in one attack just now. Shadow, wake up. Don't leave me. The man, who just escaped from the python, knelt on the ground and hugged the unconscious black leopard while weeping bitterly. Leng Ruoxue sighed. All right, I will do good to the end. She took out a pill and stuffed it into the black leopard's mouth. It did not take long for the unconscious and wounded black leopard to wake up. Master. The Black Panther looked at its master, who was already safe, and licked his face happily. Shadow, you're all right. Great. The man looked at Shadow excitedly. Although there were bloodstains on its body, its injuries were all healed. At this moment, he remembered he hadn't thanked their savior yet and felt that he was being a little rude. Thank you for saving me and Shadow. My life is yours from now on. The man raised his head to see his savior. He was stunned into a trance momentarily, thinking that a beautiful and noble goddess had saved him. But he quickly returned to his senses and looked seriously at the beautiful woman in front of him, unable to look away. What would I want your life for? Leng Ruoxue said indifferently, her beautiful eyes looking at the man in front of her. He was very young, at most in his early 20s, with good features, resolute and clean cut. Although he was not very handsome, he was very masculine, and his temperament was outstanding. His cultivation level was not very high and only at great spiritualist. I can do anything as long as you ask me to, that man said resolutely. Really? Even if I ask you to murder, set fires, rob houses, and other things against your conscience? Leng Ruoxue deliberately asked. She could see that this man was a firm and upright person. This person could become a trustworthy partner who would not betray her. However, she wanted to know how far he would go and whether or not he was qualified to be her partner. She did not want someone pedantic who was not pragmatic and flexible to be her partner. Yes, I will do anything you ask of me even if it goes against my conscience. He had almost died once and was only alive now thanks to her life-saving grace. Not only did she save him, but she also saved his best partner, so he had to repay this favor. Bedo Direm, what is your name? Leng Ruoxue asked. Fong Moran. Chapter 28. Partner 1, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Leng Ruoxue. Leng Ruoxue. Fong Moran couldn't help being a little surprised. What? Leng Ruoxue asked when she saw his surprised expression. Nothing. I also know someone named Leng Ruoxue, Fong Moran quickly explained. Is the Leng Ruoxue you know a simpleton? Leng Ruoxue asked in realization. Has my reputation already spread to the illusionary forest? How do you know? Fong Moran asked strangely. I used to be that simpleton, Leng Ruoxue said lightly. Fong Moran was speechless. It was too much of a coincidence, and he couldn't help feeling a little skeptical. Didn't everyone say that Leng Ruoxue is a simpleton? But this woman seems to be pretty smart. What simpleton can kill a holy beast? If there's really such a simpleton, then I would rather be a simpleton. Are you really that Leng Ruoxue? Feng Moran asked with uncertainty. Could there be another Leng Ruoxue in this world? Leng Ruoxue asked in return. Do you know Leng Ruoxue? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Am I really that famous? I don't know her, but I've heard of her, Feng Moran explained. Seems like I'm really famous. Leng Ruoxue felt a little depressed. You don't have to be sad. My reputation isn't so good either. Feng Moran couldn't help but want to comfort her after seeing how she suddenly turned silent. Sad? Do I look sad? Why is his reputation not good? Leng Ruoxue looked at him curiously. I'm the trash eldest son of the Feng family, Feng Moran said. A great spiritualist is trash. Leng Ruoxue really couldn't understand. Is it possible that everyone in his family is spiritual monarch and above? However, she never expected that the person she saved was the eldest son of the Feng family. My aptitude is the worst in my family, Feng Moran explained. The Feng family was one of the 5 great families. Although he was the eldest son of the main branch, his aptitude was not good enough, so he was despised within the family and gradually became the trash eldest son in everyone's mouth. Alas, this is probably the sorrow of a big family. In an ordinary or small family, a great spiritualist is highly valued. Are you willing to be my partner? Leng Ruoxue asked after some thought. She didn't want an obedient subordinate who only followed her orders. What she wanted was a partner who could fight alongside her, was trustworthy, and would never betray her. She valued character more than strength. I'm very weak. Feng Moran said, a little flustered. To be honest, he hadn't thought about being her partner. It was not that he didn't want to, but that he felt that he was unqualified. With his strength, not only would he be unable to help, on the contrary, he might drag her back. Therefore, he wanted to repay her by being a mere servant. I don't care about your strength. What I want is your character. My partner must be trustworthy, will never betray me, and can fight side by side with me. Leng Ruoxue explained, knowing his concerns. Partners were more important than friends. Partners and subordinates had to be loyal, but partners were different from subordinates. The relationship between partners was equal. They had to respect each other, trust each other, and never betray each other. You don't know me, Feng Moran said. It's enough for me that you stuck by your spirit beast. Shadow is my most important family and my only friend. Feng Moran said as he caressed Shadow's black fur. I am willing to be your partner, and I will never betray you. Feng Moran had thought it through. What's there not to be confident about since she doesn't dislike my low level and poor strength? Besides, I may be weak now, but it doesn't mean that I will never be able to break through. I can't change my aptitude, but I can work several times or even dozens of times harder than others. I believe that I will become a powerhouse one day. Okay. Then from now on, you are my partner. Leng Ruoxue took out a pill and motioned for him to take it to heal his injuries first. His injuries might not be serious, but he shouldn't continue bleeding like this. My injuries aren't serious, so I don't need such a precious pill. He knew the value of pills, especially in this dangerous forest. Even the most common pill was very precious. I'm an alchemist. I have plenty of them, Noel Duden. Feng Moran was speechless. She possessed such strength, and she was even an alchemist. How could others live with someone like her around? But after hearing that she was an alchemist, Feng Moran did not decline. He took the pill and put it in his mouth, and his injuries healed instantly. I'm going to change my clothes. Feng Moran looked at his tattered and bloody clothes, a little embarrassed. Change later. It's getting dark, so let's leave this place first. Leng Ruoxue said. Of course, she did not forget to put away her spoils before leaving. But the smell of blood on my body will attract other spirit beasts. Feng Moran was somewhat concerned. Just as well. I can use them as opponents, Leng Ruoxue said lightly. Shuer, where are we going? Feng Moran looked at Leng Ruoxue and asked after they walked for a while. The Silver Wolf tribe's territory. It's too dangerous. Let's go somewhere else. Feng Moran advised. Silver wolves were too fierce and difficult to deal with, so no one dared to provoke them. Dangerous. I've been staying there for a while. Leng Ruoxue looked at him innocently. Just as they were talking, a silvery white little wolf ran out from nowhere. Big sister, Feng Feng missed you so much. Feng Moran looked at the silvery white little wolf in a daze. He was rubbing Leng Ruoxue's calf with pride and kept calling her big sister. Is this a silver wolf cub? He knew that silver wolves were very protective of their children, so many people said that it was better to provoke an adult silver wolf than to provoke their children because the revenge of silver wolves was really too terrifying. But this little wolf obviously knew Shuer, which made him a little dumbfounded. Chapter 29. Partner 2, you are listening at novelfull.audio. You're being naughty again. Leng Ruoxue said helplessly while holding up the little wolf. This little fellow was very naughty, not allowing others to be worry-free. He is Yin Feng, the child of the Silver Wolf King, Leng Ruoxue explained. She was the one who gave the little wolf his name. No wonder Shuer dares to camp in the Silver Wolf tribe's territory. Alas, I shouldn't compare myself to her. Apart from her, no dares to live there. Feng Moran couldn't help sighing. Big sister, who is he? Little Silver Wolf Fengfeng's beautiful silver eyes looked at Feng Moran curiously. He is Big Sister's new partner. Feng Feng can call him Big Brother, Leng Ruoxue coaxed. This little silver wolf was a very cute and likable little fellow. Big Brother, Feng Feng called out obediently. Good. Feng Moran stretched out his hand and gently caressed the cute little silver wolf's head. However, he couldn't believe it. An uncontracted spirit beast actually addressed him as Big Brother. It was all very surreal and bizarre. Probably no one else other than Shuer had such an experience. Big sister, what delicious food will you make for Feng Feng today? Feng Feng asked curiously while looking at Leng Ruoxue with his bright silver eyes. You'll know later, Leng Ruoxue said. What a glutton. They walked for a while and came to Leng Ruoxue's camp. Feng Moran rubbed his eyes as he looked at the silver wolves lying around the tent, dumbfounded. They were indeed silver wolves, and not just one but a whole group. He counted 30.6 of them, and they were not silver wolf cubs but all adult silver wolves. Shuer, they. Feng Moran looked at the surrounding silver wolves and felt his hair stand on end. No problem. They're my friends. Leng Ruoxue calmed him. Oh. Hearing Shuer's words, he felt slightly relieved, but he was still a little nervous. Big Brother Feng, go and change your clothes. Leng Ruoxue reminded him, who was still wearing bloody clothes when they arrived at the camp. Okay. Feng Moran turned and walked into the tent to change clothes. Leng Ruoxue took out the big snake from her storage ring and threw it on the ground. Then she let her beasts out and asked them to help clean it so that they could eat snake meat tonight. The beasts nearly drooled when they heard this. Snake meat was very delicious. Moreover, it was a holy beast, which was not something that anyone had the chance to eat. Leng Ruoxue turned her head to look at the sluggish silver wolves. Go and help clean it, or there will be no food for a while. The earth python was so huge, so how could her beasts manage to clean it by themselves? Master, here. Charm took off the earth python's skin intact and handed it to Leng Ruoxue. Beloved master, and this. Darling held a fist-sized yellowish-brown crystal in his little paw and handed it to Leng Ruoxue flatteringly. Leng Ruoxue stored the earth python skin and then raised the crystal in her hand. The crystal was very clear and contained very abundant earth-attribute spiritual power. She knew that this was the spirit crystal of a spirit beast, and spirit crystals were the source of the spiritual power of spirit beasts. The spiritual power of spirit beasts was stored in spirit crystals, and spirit beasts could directly absorb the spiritual power inside. However, relatively speaking, the effect of direct absorption by spirit beasts was better than that of humans. Humans usually used spirit crystals to gather spiritual power. A perfect holy beast-level spirit crystal like this was absolutely valuable. After changing his clothes, Feng Moran emerged and saw the huge earth python lying on the ground. The silver wolves were using wind blades to cut the flesh of the earth python into pieces while Schwer was making a fire. "Schwer, are you planning to eat this earth python?" Feng Moran asked, slightly surprised. "Yes." "Schwer, do you know the value of this earth python?" He guessed that she might not know the preciousness of this holy beast. "I heard the earth python meat is very delicious, so I want to try it," Leng Ruoxue replied. "Well, it's delicious, but it's also very expensive. Like this big one, it can sell for hundreds of thousands of amethyst crystals," Feng Moran explained. He had only eaten earth python once when he was very young. Although it was merely a small piece, the deliciousness was unforgettable for life. Moreover, that was only an advanced spirit beast. The meat of this holy beast earth python would definitely be more delicious. Leng Ruoxue did not expect this earth python to be so valuable. The main currency of this world were gold coins and amethyst crystals. One amethyst crystal was equal to 1,000 gold coins, and 1,000 gold coins was enough for ordinary people to live for a year. A small piece of earth python meat would probably be enough for ordinary people to live for several years. But she did not intend to sell it even if it was valuable. If it was really delicious, she had to save some for her grandfather and big brother. She had been out for several months and was starting to feel a little homesick. "All the more so that I have to taste it to see if it's really that valuable," Leng Ruoxue answered. "All right then, I'll help you," Feng Moran said. In fact, he really wanted to taste it as well. It was extremely rare to be able to eat the meat of a holy beast. Feng Moran took a piece of meat the size of a basin and pierced it with a branch. He released a water ball to clean it and then put it above the fire for grilling. Just after grilling it for a bit, a delicious smell wafted through the air. "It smells so good." Leng Ruoxue couldn't help exclaiming. She was really looking forward to it since it smelled so good before adding any seasoning. She also picked up a piece of meat and started grilling it. The surrounding beasts were all drooling as they lay down around them both obediently. The smell of the grilled meat floated far away, attracting many spirit beasts. But no spirit beast dared to come forward and just stared from afar. "Did your entire tribe come?" Leng Ruoxue asked speechlessly while looking at the large group of silver wolves. There were thousands of silver wolves. She would be exhausted just from grilling meat. The Silver Wolf King looked at Leng Ruoxue with some embarrassment and feeling wronged. He did not ask them to come. They were attracted by the smell of the grilled meat. It was not his fault. Feng Moran looked dumbfounded at the silver wolves that suddenly appeared, and the meat in his hands almost fell to the ground. This is too exaggerated. Tell your tribe that each wolf can only get a small piece of raw meat, Leng Ruoxue said to the Silver Wolf King after thinking about it. She couldn't cook for them all, but she could still give them some raw meat. After all, she had lived in the Silver Wolf tribe's territory for so long, and she had formed a good relationship with these silver wolves. Chapter 30. Another freeloader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "Thank you," the Silver Wolf King said with gratitude. Although raw meat wasn't as delicious as cooked meat, it was the flesh of a holy beast, so it would definitely be nourishing for his subordinates. Leng Ruoxue used wind blades to slice the earth python meat into small pieces that each weighed around a kilogram. Then she allowed the silver wolves to come forward one by one to receive the meat. After receiving the meat, every wolf would thank her and then leave with their food. After all the silver wolves finished receiving the raw meat and left, Leng Ruoxue looked at the remaining earth python meat. Fortunately, the snake was big enough. After giving out so much, there's still more than half left. She counted the number of silver wolves still around. These silver wolves were closer to her because they were her training partners, so of course she couldn't just give them raw meat. She left enough meat to eat and then put away the rest. She, Charm, and Feng Moran busily grilled for almost 2 hours before cooking all the meat. After the wolves received their portion, they would find their favorite spot and begin eating. As for the Silver Wolf King's family, they sat around Leng Ruoxue with her beasts and had a sumptuous feast. What seasoning is this? It's really fragrant. Feng Moran couldn't help asking as he ate. It was spicy, numbing, and very flavorful. Chili, pepper, and cumin, Leng Ruoxue said. She found cumin just recently. I've heard of chili, but it's too spicy. No one eats it. I'm not too sure what pepper and cumin are, Feng Moran said in puzzlement. Leng Ruoxue showed him a few grains of pepper and cumin. They're so small but taste so good. Amazing. Feng Moran was surprised. The meat smells so good. May I have a piece? A pleasant male voice suddenly sounded. Yet another freeloader. This was Leng Ruoxue's only thought after hearing these words. She looked at the source of the voice and saw a man of noble temperament and extraordinary bearing. His delicate facial features were so beautiful that it was capable of causing the downfall of a nation. His alluring pupils were as black as ink and could capture the souls of others, and his silky smooth fair skin would make any woman jealous. He was truly a freakishly enchanting man of unparalleled beauty. Beauty capable of causing the downfall of a nation was usually used to describe women, but Leng Ruoxue couldn't find a better description for him. If her big brother was an untainted immortal, and Charm was a pure and charming fairy, then this man was a peerless freak beyond this world. He was the best-looking man she had ever seen. Although she wasn't one to lose herself in beauty, in the face of such beauty, she couldn't help but glance at him more. Which family is he from? They should take him back quickly. This kind of freakish beauty shouldn't be allowed out. Leng Ruoxue couldn't help quipping. May I? The stunningly beautiful man looked at her pitifully, tears faintly glimmering in his black eyes. Leng Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Please, please, please don't look at me like that, okay? It's not like I've bullied you. His eyes didn't have such a pitiful look a moment ago. Ah, why do I always meet manipulative guys who like to pretend to be pitiful? Leng Ruoxue helplessly gave them 2 pieces of meat while finally glancing over at the other man. He was also handsome but overshadowed by the freak. Thank you. I'm Yi Chen. What's your name? Asked the freakishly beautiful man, Yi Chen, as he stared at Leng Ruoxue with his shiny black eyes. Yi Chen. Sounds familiar. I think I've heard of the name somewhere before. Leng Ruoxue, and he is my partner, Feng Moran Env. What a coincidence. My fiancé is also named Leng Ruoxue. Yi Chen, the freak, smiled charmingly from ear to ear. She was speechless. No wonder his name is so familiar. This is the name of the fiancé I tossed to the back of my mind. Isn't he supposed to be weak and sickly? He doesn't look weak and sickly. Stop smiling. Leng Ruoxue was somewhat annoyed. Don't you know that you're already too freakishly good looking? Smiling so charmingly and attractively, do you want to make me commit a crime? Upon hearing this, the freak Yi Chen smiled even brighter. The smile was so alluring that even the sky looked dull in comparison. Lang Ruoxue glared at the freak fiercely and then turned away to focus on eating the grilled snake meat in her hands. Shuer. I will call you Shuer. Yi Chen said. Lang Ruoxue ignored him and continued eating. Yi Chen ate while scrutinizing Lang Ruoxue openly. His stare made her uncomfortable all over, so she simply went to a corner to eat. For some reason, the man made her feel danger, and she couldn't be at ease. After finishing her food, Lang Ruoxue said she was going to rest and went straight into her tent. The next morning, when she emerged from the tent, she saw Feng Moran preparing breakfast but not the two uninvited men from yesterday. You're awake. Lang Ruoxue turned around when she heard the voice. She saw the freak standing behind her, holding two fish. Didn't you leave? Lang Ruoxue accidentally revealed her thoughts. Do you want me gone so badly? You're my fiancé. Since we've met, of course we should stay together so that we can take care of each other. Yi Chen said as if it was obvious. I'm not your fiancé. Lang Ruoxue didn't want to accept him. She trusted her instincts. This man was dangerous, and she should keep away. My fiancé's name is Lang Ruoxue. Since your name is Lang Ruoxue, then you are fiancé. Yi Chen said earnestly. What kind of logic is that? She was going crazy. Besides, shouldn't you protect me? This forest is so dangerous. How can you leave a weak man like me to fend for myself? What if I come across a female pervert? My innocence is reserved for my fiancé, so you have the duty to protect me. Yi Chen said boldly and justifiably, as if he didn't feel that there was anything wrong with what he said. His companion, Mu Li, walked away upon hearing this, his whole face screaming that he had no idea who Yi Chen was.